The National Federation of High Schools Sports Network presents South State 4A High School baseball action as the Sumrall Bobcats entertain the North Pike Jaguars Game 3 of a best-of-3 game series. For one of these two teams, there literally is no tomorrow. One team's season will come to an end today as this best-of-3 game series will be decided. Good afternoon from Larry Knight Field. I'm Kelly Sanner, along with producer-engineer Jeremy Thompson and producer Jacob Robinson on a beautiful day here in Sumrall. No wind to speak of, and the Bobcats will send the right-hander Hayden Norrid, the senior, who is committed to Pearl River Community College, to take to the hill. The Bobcats come in 28-3 after that long winning streak was ended last night in Summit. And the Jaguars come in 20 for the Jaguars and play shortstop. He'll be followed by the second baseman, Peyton Badon, who pitched a terrific ball game last night in getting the shutout victory. Jake Martin, the pitcher today for North Pike, will bat third. He'll be followed by the cleanup hitter, catcher Jace Brown. Cade Rush bats fifth and plays first base for the Jaguars. Then comes J.K. Kapler, the left fielder, batting sixth. Artrell Coney is the third baseman and designated hitter. He's batting seventh. Then comes Jamarius Lewis, the center fielder, and rounding out the order, C.J. MacArthur in left. So for North Pike, it's Perry, Badon, Martin, Brown, Rush, Kapler, Coney, Lewis, and MacArthur to face Hayden Norrid, who comes into this game with a win-loss record of 3 wins and no losses, a 2.51 earned run average. He has pitched 22 and a third innings. He has given up 17 hits. He's walked 10 and struck out 31. So he's got that 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio that you want to have defensively for the Bobcats as they are in their dazzling Sunday whites, so to speak. Levi Odom is at third. Marshall Phillips at shortstop. Ty Little at second. And Cross Sibley gets the call at first base today. The outfield left to right is Barrett Rayner. First pitch is high, and in right field, Cade Ito. So we're underway. Glad that you're with us. Temperature just perfect now, a little wisp of a breeze. Second pitch is high again, 2-0 to Alex Perry, the shortstop who has also committed to Pearl River. Swung on a pop foul out of play. So the count goes 2-1. So you got a couple of future Wildcats battling each other here. Third game of a 3-game series. 2-1. Inside, 3-1 now. A lot of people after that 12-0 opening win by Sumrall thought that last night would have been a cakewalk, swing and a miss. But Badon threw the game of his life to keep the Jaguars alive. And again, no slouch team, North Pike at all. But got the big win at home. Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on, there's a drive down the left field line, and it is twisting foul and out of play. So the count stays full to Alex Perry, who by and large has been pretty quiet in this series. Hitting in the mid-400s and leads their team with 7 homers. Again, a smaller field at home than here on the road at Sumrall. Here's the 3-2 pitch. High and inside, ball 4. So Perry gets a leadoff walk. We mentioned the size of this field, 325 down the left field line, 305 down right, 370 to center field, where it's only 300 down each line in Summit. Perry with a big lead at first base. Going on the first pitch, throw to second is high. And Perry into second with a stolen base, and they quickly challenge the Sumrall defense. So that takes care of the double play. 1-0 the count to Badon, who really, again, pitched brilliantly last night. He playing second base today, the 1-0 pitch. And that hit him That pitch was inside, and here comes Andy Davis quickly out of the dugout. As Norwood off to a rather auspicious start. First guy walked, second guy hit by a pitch, and now you're working right into the meat of their order with no outs. The Sumrall Bobcats on the web, brought to you by Recommended Collision Repair, the Alpha Insurance Agency of Case Long, Rainforest Car Wash, ComSouth Business Communications, Real South Hunting, the State Farm Insurance Agency of Stacy Clark and Prentice, Java Mo's Coffee Shops, and Dandy Dan's, with 2 locations to serve you in Bellevue and Sumrall. Open early every morning with a fresh selection of coffees and always a large selection of different fuels. So with runners on first and second, nobody out, here's Martin, the pitcher, hitting in the 3-hole. And Norwood off of the pitching rubber, like Sumrall Bobcat pitchers will do a lot to see if the hitter will let you know what he's going to do, and that's exactly what he did. Martin turned around to bunt. And this is certainly a bunt situation for the number 3 hitter, but he takes one right down the tube for a strike. So that might have been a bluff. Little is in shallow here. In, again, a certain bunt situation. Norwood checks the sign and comes to the plate, swinging this time, and put it out of play and over into the football field. So 0-2 to Jake Martin, the pitcher today for North Pike, who can aid his own cause. With 2 runners on base and nobody out here in the top of the very first inning. Again, today, regardless, it'll be the end of the road for one of these 2 teams. The 0-2. Check swing, and he went, and he's out on strikes. So a big strikeout for Norwood there. 1 out. The double play is in effect here with runners on first and second. And here's Jace Brown, the catcher. Brown came into the series hitting 171. 1 homer and 18 runs batted in. But a great defender behind the plate. First pitch from Norwood, swing and a miss. Off-speed pitch at 70 miles an hour that Brown was out ahead of. Perry at second, but Don at first, with 1 out here in the top of the first. Glad that you're with us on the NFHS Network this afternoon. You can reach us as always in the press box at 601-310-7077. A lot of you who normally watch, I'm sure, are actually in the stands today on this beautiful, beautiful Saturday. And again, a Saturday a lot of fans didn't think would happen. A Saturday game, that is. Saturday will always happen. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Norwood put it past him that time on the fastball. So he's seen some off speed and he's seen some heat. And missed them both. Cade Rush, the first baseman, is on deck. Wind now has freshened and is blowing out toward right field. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Two away, and here's Cade Rush, the first baseman. Now the runners will be going on contact. So George Lott, the coach of North Pike, wanting to get his runners, both of them in scoring position. And both of them are going. Throw to third is Levi Odom. Thought the tag was there. But Alex Perry, it was a bang-bang play. Perry's hand might have gotten in there under the tag, but it was a perfect throw by Altman. Right on the mark. But according to the third base umpire, Perry was there just ahead of it. A four-man crew today. Every base covered by the umpires. And here we go now with runners, two runners in scoring position. The 0-1 pitch from Norwood didn't go, and the pitch was high, 1-1. We'll get to the Sumrall batting order in the bottom of the first, and it is a little bit different. Andy Davis has shaken things up just a little bit in the batting order, and we'll recite it for you in the bottom of the inning. The 1-1 pitch. Outside, 2-1. Altman tried to frame it, but it was off the plate. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Both of these fan bases at a fever pitch already here in the first inning. Something good for Sumrall happens. Folks to our right go crazy, and something for the Jags happens. Everybody to our left. Swung on. Here's a chopper towards short. Phillips has to take it on the short hop. Throw to first, and a great scoop by Sibley to end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 men left on base. We go to the bottom of the first inning. No score. So let's take a look at that Sumrall batting order that we talked about. Hayden Barrett leading off. Then comes Rayner. Phillips bats third. That has been standard operating procedure for Sumrall for most of the year. But here's where some of the changes come in. Norred has been lifted from the cleanup spot after really struggling last night at the plate. And Dito has been elevated to the cleanup hitter. Then Ty Little bats fifth, as the switch-hitting second baseman has had the second half of the season probably the highest average on the team. If it's just the second half of the season you take into account. Then comes Norred batting sixth. Batting seventh will be Odom. He's playing third. Then Ryan Cole Broom gets the designated hitter slot tonight. Broom hitting for the first baseman, Cross Sibley. And Ethan Altman, the catcher, rounds out the order. So again, for the Raw Cats, it's Barrett, Rayner, Phillips, Dito, Little, Norred, Odom, Broom, and Altman. This will be the last game of the season for one of these two teams. And one of the ways you break it down is just inning by inning. You try to win the inning. And before too long, the game is over. So then it comes down to who won the most innings, right? So here's Big Pug, Hayden Barrett, batting .361 with a homer and 32 runs batted in. And he's facing Jake Martin. First pitch is inside, ball 1. Martin has 5 wins and no losses and a 2.26 earned run average. Here's a strike on the corner, 1-1 to Barrett. Martin has thrown 31 innings. He has allowed 26 hits. He has walked 13 and struck out 38. Toward third, great play by Coney. Long throw across the diamond, and Barrett is out. Great play by Artrell Coney, who had to go to the turf to dig it out, and then had to throw out the speedy Barrett, racing down the line. 1 away, and here's Hayes Rayner now. Rayner hitting .330 with no homers and 15 runs batted in. Righty versus lefty, the matchup here. They play Rayner in the outfield straight away, but anticipating a potential bunt here. Coney has moved in on the grass at third. And Rayner does try to put the bunt down, but it is popped foul. Rayner with a .330 average. No homers, 15 runs batted in. They play him to pull, actually. Just slightly. Jamarius Lewis in center field, shaded toward right. The 1-1 pitch from Martin. Swung on, fouled again into the screen. So the count is 1-2. Bases empty with 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. Bobcats shut out last night at North Pike. Usually the Bobcats are the ones shutting teams out. 1-2 pitch. There's a little looper into left field, and that ball is caught in left field. A diving play by J.K. Kampler keeps Rayner off the bases. And credit where credit is due, that was a great play by Kapler, who had to dive to his left in order to make a shoestring catch. And here's Phillips. And really, for all practical purposes, Marshall Phillips was the only Bobcat that really had a pretty decent game at the plate last night. Everybody else was pretty much handcuffed. Phillips hitting .384 with 3 homers and 43 runs batted in. Breaking ball at 62 miles an hour. It was way out ahead of it, didn't swing, but it was a called strike. So the 0-1 pitch. Swung on, a little easy pop. Little can of corn, foul, first base line. Caught by the first baseman, Cade Rush. And the Bobcats go quietly in the first. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. We've completed one here at Larry Knight Field. No score. You're watching the 4A High School Baseball Playoffs, powered by Dandy Dan's. We go to the top of the second inning. Norwood will face hitters 6, 7, and 8. Kapler, Coney, and Lewis. You know, it must have been something in the air or the water last night when you look at other playoff scores from around the state. West Jones in 5A play was the only team that won that was expected to win. And West Jones moves on now to South State and will face Pascagoula, because Pascagoula erased Pearl River Central. So it'll be Pascagoula against West in 5A, South State. Madison Central, ranked among the top 3 teams in the country, mind you, not just the state, but the country. Madison Central was beaten by Starkville after Madison Central had beaten Starkville 14-1 the night before. Does that sound familiar? Here's a strike. Sumrall, of course, was upended after winning big. So a lot of teams that were supposed to win in 2 straight were upset last night. Swing and a miss to Kapler. Christy Martin has checked in. She's watching on the NFHS network out of Slidell, Louisiana. Christy moving around. Normally it's Folsom, Louisiana, but in Slidell today. The 0-2 pitch. Check swing. They go for the appeal. Well, Altman wanted the appeal, but didn't get it. 1-2 to the hitter Kapler, who just made that great catch in left field. Norwood peers in to get the sign. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Change up. Got him looking right down the tube for strikeout number 3. For Norwood, and here's Artrell Coney now. Coney hitting .428 with no homers and 9 runs batted in. Swung on, slow ground ball to short. Phillips to his left, across his body, makes the play, and there's 2 away.
Center fielder, Jamarius Lewis.
Phillips was on the move toward the hole at second base, and Coney, an average runner. Phillips had time, so there's 2 up and 2 down, and here's Jamarius Lewis, the center fielder for the Jags. First pitch from Norwood is an off-speed pitch high, ball 1. You would think that if Norwood were to get in any kind of trouble today, that Levi Odom would get the call. He's in the lineup at third. 1-0 pitch. There's a strike. A ball and a strike now to Lewis, who just is a great-looking athlete, and he's just a junior. So he'll be back. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Was trying to air condition this place with that swing. Was looking to deposit it in the left field executive lounge out there. Principal Matt Thomas, I think, is manning that today. And there's a Strike right down the middle. That Lewis takes. No runs, no hits, no errors, and already
No score.
Norred has recorded 4 strikeouts. So they go down in order in the second. We'll see what the Bobcats have for the Jags as we go to the bottom of the second in a moment. You're watching the 4A South State High School Baseball Playoffs on the NFHS Network, powered by Dandy Dan's. Dito, Little, and Norred. Hitters 4, 5, and 6. And again, as we mentioned at the top of the webcast, Andy Davis juggled his batting lineup a little bit, trying to take some pressure off of Norred, who did not have a good night last night. And of course, pitching today, so he moved him down in the order to relieve some of that pressure a little bit. And Dito, right close to Marshall Phillips as far as batting average is concerned, leading the team. There's a strike. Dito at 378 with a homer and 16 RBIs. The 0-1 pitch from Martin. Foul at the plate. He was way ahead of that 65-mile-an-hour off speed. The pitching last night and so far today has been superb. Dito trying to get on. The 0-2 pitch is outside, framed nicely by Jace Brown, and that's why he's back there, but that pitch was too far off the plate. Ty Little taking his warm-up swings in the on-deck circle. The 1-2 offering. That bounced in there. Tried to get Dito to lean out in front. Andy Davis with his hands in his pockets over there at third, waiting for some company. Steve Cooley in the first base coach's box. Here in the deciding game. 2-2 pitch. There's a shot just wide of third. Purvis already leading Stone 2-0 in the bottom of the first inning. That's a game that Purvis must win in order to stay alive. That's our first report on the Java Mo scoreboard. Southern Miss was winning at last report, 6-1. Last chance, last at bat for FAU in game 1 of that doubleheader. Swung on, that one's down the right field line, and it is a fair ball right inside the line. Dito rounds first and will have to come back as it was played beautifully in the corner by C.J. MacArthur. So Dito with a long single. And again, you can't emphasize how great of a play that was by MacArthur, who fielded the ball on one hop, made a beautiful reverse pivot, squared up his shoulders and hips, and made a great throw to second. And Dito knew that he would have been in big trouble. So they go for the bunt. Little puts down a beautiful bunt, only plays at first, and he's out, and gets Dito over to second base. They were almost in a situation where nobody was covering third. So Ty Little with good team baseball. And man, that's something that you need to make a comment on too, is a very selfless play by Ryan Little when he's certainly capable of putting the ball in play with a 319 average. But with a runner on first and nobody out, now a man is in scoring position, and the Bobcats have got 2 outs to work with. The first pitch to Norred. Breaking ball, that one is lifted out of play, just beyond the tin roof of the right field executive lounge. You know, we've had texts, Jeremy, from people wanting to know how they can purchase passes to the executive lounges, both in left and right field. And I'm not sure they're available to the public, are they? Although if it's a way to raise some money, we're all about it. Jake Martin gets the sign. They go to the pickoff play at second base. But Dito is back in plenty of time. Alex Perry there to slap the tag on him. They're playing Norred straight away here. Norred hitting in the 6 hole tonight. The 0-1. Breaking ball, a little lazy fly ball to center. Roaming over to his left to make the catch is Lewis, and he dropped the ball. Oh, my. That was about as easy a play as you're ever going to see. And he simply lost focus and dropped it. That's an error.
Third baseman, Levi Odom.
Norred doing what he should have done, which is running.
Courtesy runner at second base is number 6, Liam Munn.
Liam Munn will run for the pitcher, Norred. So runners at second and third now and 1 out. A can of corn that was mishandled by Lewis in center field. So here's Odom now with a .274 average. 1 homer and 20 runs batted in. First pitch is outside, ball 1. Odom, though, when it comes to a batting average with runners in scoring position, has a much better batting average. Of course, translated, that means Odom is good in the clutch. That one's low, 2-0. Ryan Cole Broom, the designated hitter, hitting for Cross Sibley, is on deck. Sumrall batting in the bottom of the second inning of this scoreless, deciding game. But runners on second and third, 1 out, and a 2-0 count. Swung on, is shot wide of third. And Andy Davis gobbles that up there at third. How about that play? Well, coach showing some soft hands there. 2-1 the count to Odom. Dito at third, Munn at second. 1 out, so they're in a non-force situation. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Took something off of it again. Odom was ahead of it and pulled it wide of third. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jake Martin. Or Jake Martin, the pitcher, rather, pitching to Levi Odom. Boy, Jamarius Lewis is really hoping that none of these Sumrall runs score, because he was under that ball, waiting on it, and he's probably asking himself, how in the world did that ball get out of my glove? 2-2 pitch. Swung on, little pop to the shortstop. Alex Perry having trouble with the sun, but comes back to make the grab. Now there's 2 away. You can't help but think that any run that's scored today is really going to have to be earned. And you know, again, Jamarius Lewis in center field is saying, please get out of this inning. Broom hitting .429 with no home runs, and 5 runs batted in. Again, that's limited at bats, and now Broom wants time at the plate. He's hitting 8th in the order. Should he be needed, then Ethan Altman, the catcher batting in the 9 hole, would come to bat. Runners will be moving on contact. First pitch to Broom. Outside, ball 1. Nice job again by catcher Jace Brown, keeping everything in front of him. Ryan Cole Broom getting a big opportunity in the biggest of games, on the biggest of stages. The 1-0 pitch. Outside, 2-0. Sumrall batting in the bottom of the second. We're scheduled for 7. And the winner of this, of course, gets the winner of the Stone County Purvis series. Stone won last night 5-0, but Purvis leading today over on the other side of the county. The 2-0 pitch. Outside again, 3-0 to Broom. First base is open. And should they walk him, then of course that would set up the force at any base, including home. The 3-0 pitch. He's outside on 4 straight pitches. Broom is on. So the bases are juiced here. And here's Altman. 192 the batting average, no home runs, and 8 runs batted in. Now remember, he's been splitting duty with Ryan Little behind the plate. So he too has not had as many at-bats as some of the other guys in this lineup. Runners with moderate leads. First pitch is outside, ball 1. Martin laboring just a hair. And here George Lott wants to call timeout to talk to his starting pitcher. Really, I expect to see a lot of timeouts today because you've got to absolutely make sure that every T is crossed and that the I's are dotted because, again, the season will end today for one of these two teams. Waymore Williamson checking in on behalf of the Melby Mafia. Oh, now we have learned something today, that there's a mafia in Melby. And we will tell Nora. So, Waymore, do we call you the Godfather then? We will tell Nora to keep up the good work. Glad to have the Williamsons with us. And we don't want to make the Melby Mafia mad, do we? 1-0 to Altman. No place to put him. Something's got to give here. 2 outs. The 1-0 pitch. There is a strike at the knees. That one split the plate and was perfect. Wind continues to blow lightly toward right. So will the 2-base error by Lewis wind up costing the Jaguars some runs? The 1-1. Outside, 2-1. And so far, the umpire, the zone we've seen, he might give you half a ball off the plate, but not much more than that. Outside again, it's 3-1. Boy, he walked the number 8 hitter in Broom in 4 straight pitches. And now Altman, the number 9 hitter, is ahead in the count, 3-1. Again with the bases loaded. The pitch. Low ball 4, and the Bobcats have drawn first blood.
Left fielder Hayden Barrett.
2 straight walks have loaded the bases and also brought a run across. The easiest RBI that Altman will ever record. McNair in to run for Altman so he can get the catching gear on. Bases still loaded with 2 outs. And here statistically has been the toughest guy to get out. Uncle Ernie says, let's have a dinger here, Big Pug. First pitch is low, ball 1. What is it, the 589 half fence club or something up there at the Shell? Meets at the Shell. Uncle Ernie's a proud member. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on. Here's a sharp ground ball to short. Flips to second for the force. And that does it. So, 1 run on 1 hit. There was 1 error and 3 men left on base. At the end of 2, here in Sumrall today, it's the Bobcats 1, the Jaguars nothing. You're watching the 4A State High School Baseball Playoffs on the NFHS Network, powered by Dandy Dan's. So we go to the top of the third inning. 9-1-2 to face Norad. C.J. MacArthur, Alex Perry, and Peyton Badon. Sumrall now having to protect a 1-0 lead.
Leading off the top of the third for North Pike, right fielder C.J. MacArthur.
Here's MacArthur. 246 the batting average with 1 homer and 15 runs batted in, and he's first pitch swinging and fouls it away. Bobcat outfield shaded toward right. Norad at an angle on the pitching rubber. The 0-1, it hit him in the shoulder. Pitch was inside. So they've got their leadoff man aboard, and the number 9 man is on base. And here's Alex Perry now. He has been the guy, as we've talked about, that has really made this team go. 7 homers, 49 runs batted in. And a batting average in the mid-400s. He walked his first time, wound up being stranded at second. Stone has come back to put a run on the board, trailing Purvis now 2-1 in game 2 of that series early on over at Tony Farlow Field. So the North, when you thought that West Lauderdale would walk away with it, they got beat last night as well. There's a strike. 84-mile-an-hour fastball right on the corner. Zane and Zach Berry, Mason Story, Trace Jordan, and Drake Pace listening to the game on the beach. Boy, of all places to listen to a game. On the beach, but if that's the way it has to be, guys, we're glad to have you great former players listening outside. 1-1. Jags batting in the top of the third inning here. They're still looking for their first hit. They do have a couple of hit batsmen and a walk. 1-1 swung on. Here's a drive to center field. That ball is well hit. Rayner going back, shading the sun, and he can't not come up with it. He lost it in the sun. Perry will go to second base, and you could tell immediately that Rayner had trouble with the sun. He turned over to his right shoulder and retreated toward the fence is where he thought the general location of the ball was. The glove went up to his eyes to try to shade the sun, and it landed, looked like about 8 feet to his right. So it's a double for Perry. Runners on second and third. But the Jags earlier had something going and got out of it with no runs. First pitch from Norad to Badon is strike 1. Badon was one of those guys that got hit by a pitch. Badon hitting right at about 400 with no homers and 24 runs batted in. Again, he's headed to Delta State. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. What a beautiful day. Couldn't think of anything better to do than see 2 great baseball teams battle it out in the playoffs. Maybe, well, Crawfish Boil would probably be up there. And this is perfect weather for that as well. The 0-2 pitch, Norad looking for the strikeout and almost hit him again. Badon had to duck to get out of the way. 1-2 the count. It's the Jaguars bat here in the top of the third inning. No outs. Sumrall leading 1-0. But that lead is in jeopardy here. Swung on. Here's a slow roller towards short. The only play as Phillips tries to dig the ball out of the glove. And Perry is called out. Whether he was tagged or not, I don't know, but he could have been called for running out of the baseline. He did not have to run there. And really, anything hit to the left like that, if you're at second base, you really should stay put.
Pitcher, Jake Martin.
Because he would still be there. So it goes as a fielder's choice, actually, with Badon at first now and one out. Yeah, I really think Perry made a base running mistake there. He was not forced. He should have stayed at second base. First pitch to Martin on the 85-mile-an-hour fastball is too high, ball one. The Jaguars have challenged the Sumrall catchers throughout this series. And there's a check swing foul. Had Perry stayed at second, there would have been no play. Badon would have had an infield hit. They would have had runners at first and second with no outs. The 1-1 pitch. Runner going. Altman's throw to second. He's underneath it with a left hand. So Badon is there. And the count is 2-1 at the plate. Stacy Clark is checking in from the Westbrook subdivision, rooting for the Bobcats. And Stacy, thanks for your support of these webcasts. She, along with other business people, have made it possible. We've got a lot of money and equipment and so on, making sure that all this stuff works. It's no easy task, and that's what Jeremy and Jacob do. That one's fouled off, so we've got a 2-2 count. To Jake Martin. Man in scoring position at second base with one out. Inside. 3-2 now. So Norred got the start today when a lot of people thought that Andy Davis might go with Levi Odom. As we mentioned earlier, if Norred gets into some trouble, you think Odom might be where he goes. Fastball at the knees. He got him on strikes. And Martin did not like that call. And nor did anybody at North Pike. And here's Jace Brown, the catcher, who struck out swinging his first time up. He's the cleanup hitter. So now Badon will be going on any type of contact. And they're still wearing out the home plate umpire. Tied at 1. The Jaguars have plated 1 here in the third. Swung on, there's a shot. It's inside the line. It's fair. It got by Odom. This will score a run. Rounding first on his way to second. Here comes the throw to second. And Jace Brown, the catcher, who struck out in his first at bat and last night struck out, comes up with a double and has given the Jaguars a 2-1 lead. Bailey Brown is the courtesy runner at second base. So he's in scoring position now. And here's Cade Rush. Coming into the inning, the Jaguars didn't have a single hit, and they've been able to string together a couple of doubles in this inning. That pitch is off the plate, ball one. Wind blowing sharply now out toward right field. Pickoff fake toward second. Cars and people everywhere. 1-0 pitch. Here's a strike. He just looked at it, blazed past him at 84 miles an hour. Bobcats have consistently played the Jaguar hitters to go the opposite way. The 1-1. Swung on, a little loop toward Marshall Phillips. who puts that one away for out number 3. But Jaguars come up with 2 runs on 2 hits. There was no errors and 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's the Jaguars 2, the Bobcats 1. You're listening and watching the South State 4A High School Baseball Playoffs on the NFHS Network, powered by Dandy Dan's. Jake Martin comes out for another inning of work, and he will face Rayner, Phillips, and Dito, 2, 3, and 4 in the Sumrall order. Rainforest Car Wash wants to remind you that Tuesday is Ladies' Day. Discount for car washes, and anytime you get an oil change at Rainforest, you get that deluxe car wash thrown in absolutely free. Rainforest Car Wash on Highway 98. And 2 new locations to open soon on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Also, our friends at Real South Hunting. You can look them up on the web for that hunting experience. Real South Hunting, proud to support Sumrall Bobcat baseball. So here's Rayner, who nearly reached in his only other at bat, but was robbed by Kapler, making that diving catch to his left. They've got Coney in at third base, trying to potentially take away that bunt should Rayner feel so inclined to lay one down. First pitch is an off-speed strike on the corner at 76 miles an hour. Next pitch, swing and a miss. Rayner way out ahead of that one at 67 miles an hour. And we look in the Sumrall bullpen, and Levi Odom is beginning to loosen. And the Jaguar bullpen also getting to work. That one bounces up there. And it looks like Dustin Holmes is beginning to warm up in the bullpen for the Jaguars. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2-2. So Rayner has worked himself back into the count. Now the home plate umpire has called timeout and is talking to some of the Sumrall fans who are really into this game and might be addressing comments directly to North Pike fans. And so the umpire has come over and asked the Sumrall fans to cheer for their players, but don't be talking to the other team's fans. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Rayner. Took something off of it, but missed. So now Rayner is back in it. 3-2 the count. He's the leadoff hitter for Sumrall here in the bottom of the 3rd. 3-2 pitch, fastball on the inner half of the plate, and Rayner knew it.
Shortstop, Marshall Phillips.
Here's Phillips now. He hit a pop in foul territory near first base that was gloved by Cade Rush in his only other at bat. Phillips hitting .384 with 3 homers and 43 runs batted in. First pitch to him is off speed outside, ball 1, 61 miles an hour. I think the only pitches slower were the ones coming in from the Raymond pitchers early in the playoffs. The 1-0 pitch, swung on, chopped foul wide to third. So a ball and a strike to Marsh. He'll be followed by Dito. Going from the full windup is Martin. Swung on, here's a high drive to right field. That ball's got a chance. That ball is back, that ball is gone!
Home run, Marshall Phillips.
Marshall Phillips has gone yard. Aloha on the steel guitar.
Right fielder, K. Dito.
And just like that, we are tied. Here's Dito. He singled and scored in his only other at bat. Initially, it looked like that ball was playable, but as MacArthur kept going back and back and back, and that wind, as we mentioned, was blowing out toward right, it just kept carrying. And Phillips has tied the game. First pitch to Dito, swung and fouled into the screen. So now the old pendulum of momentum has swung back to the Sumrall side here. Southern Miss was up big in game one, and they won game one. It was 6-1 was the final score in game one, so that series with the Owls has been evened out. We'll try to get you an update on Purvis and Stone. Bottom of the third inning, Purvis leading Stone 2-1, and that's a game that Purvis has to win. 1-1 pitch. Bounces up there. 2-1 to Dito. Again, continuing to loosen is senior relief pitcher Dustin Holmes for the Jaguars. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on. This one is lifted toward right field, but I think it will get foul, and it is. MacArthur came over to try to maybe get a glove on it, but his momentum might have run him right into that hard bullpen fence down there. So the count goes 2-2 as this just a long, loud strike. Both of these teams fighting for their lives, the Purvis Tornadoes as well. And now Dito wants time again. But he started to back out before he got timeout. Remember, youngsters, don't back out of there until you know you have timeout. The 2-2 pitch. Inside. 3-2. Ty Little awaits his at bat. He's on deck. The 3-2 pitch. Outside. Ball four, and Dito is on.
Second baseman, Ty Little.
Little put down a sacrifice bunt, his only other at bat, and that doesn't count as an at bat. So Little hitting .319 with no homers and 27 runs batted in. And again, against a righty, this is the scenario he likes the best, is hitting left-handed. Martin with just a lob over there to first base. Artrell Coney, the third baseman, is in on the turf anticipating a bunt here. See how Andy Davis plays it. Bunt is shown, throw to second base. He said that his hands got there before the tag. Perry thought he had him on the cleats, but Dito gets into second base. So he's there with one out. So no need for Little to bunt now necessarily, because the man is in scoring position now with one away. Sumrall continuing to bat in the bottom of the third here. We're tied at 2. Jake Martin delivers. Swung on. That one is tapped foul at the plate. 0-2 now to Little. Little doesn't strike out much. A good contact hitter, particularly the second half of the year when he's been on fire. As hot as he was the second half of the year, is as cold as he was to start the year. Swung on. This one is fouled out of play over to the left side. That one will find Miss Shirley's front yard. We haven't heard from Miss Shirley in a while. Hope that everything is okay with her. Miss Shirley Maddox, or Haddix rather, we're talking about. 0-2 the count to Ryan Little. Jake Martin gets the sign. The pitch. They had a pitch out to third, and a bad throw goes into left field. Coney actually kind of overslid his target. So Dito is at third now with one out. Sumrall using its speed to its advantage. They kind of called a pitch out there thinking that Dito was going. They guessed right. They just didn't execute it. So 1-2 to Little. Swung on. Grounder to second. That'll plate the run. Well done by Sumrall to get Dito in and capture a 3-2 lead. Again, great team baseball by Ty Little. He's out, but he gets a run batted in, and it's the go-ahead run. So base is empty, 2 outs now in the bottom of the third, and here's Norred, who hit that can of corn to center field in his only other at-bat. The Jamarius Lewis was there to catch, and he just plain muffed it. First pitch to Norred is outside, ball 1. That pitch about a ball and a half off the plate has not been there all day. As a strike, that is. The 1-0 pitch. That's same location. Same result, 2-0 to Norred. Swung on, here's a grounder to short. Perry lets that ball fly. He just tried to lob it over there, and like what happens so many times when guys think they have plenty of time, they take too much time and just make a terrible throw. So again, Norred reaches on an error. Munn comes in to run. And here's Odom, who popped out to the shortstop before. Boy, Norred's got the mojo or the voodoo or something working, because he really should have been a routine out both times. And now here's Odom digging back in. That 274 average with 1 homer and 20 runs batted in. Sumrall leads it. They surrendered the lead in the top of the third and then got it back on the solo homer by Phillips, and then Dito scoring after a walk and 2 stolen bases. He scored on the ground out by Little. And again, Jake Martin stepping off the pitching plate. First pitch to Odom, outside. Ball 1. If Stone County were to win the other South State semifinal, then the winner of this game would play Stone at Stone Thursday night. Stone would have home field advantage. 1-0 pitch is a strike on the corner. Ryan Cole-Broom is on deck as the Bobcats bat in the bottom of the third inning. Norred now starting to loosen again, so you'd think he'll come out for the 4th inning, particularly now that the Bobcats have spotted him a lead. The 1-1. High, delay steal to second base, and Munn gets there. It was a delay. He didn't go with the pitch. He kind of waited 2 or 3 counts before going. So the shortstop and second baseman didn't have really time to react to him heading to second. And of course, the catcher Brown had to wait to get the ball to second until somebody was there to receive it. The 2-1. Outside, 3-1. Two big errors for the Jaguars. Swung on, grounded to short. There's a better throw, and that retires the side as Odom is out. But the Bobcats come up with 2 runs on 1 hit. It was an error, and 1 man left on base. We've completed 3. Here in Sumrall, it's the Bobcats 3, the Jaguars 2. Back in a moment, you're watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. Norred is indeed out for another inning of work, and he will face Kapler, Coney, and Lewis, 6, 7, and 8 in the Jaguar order as we go to the top of the 4th inning. We'll be with you every step of the way until the state, and that's when the state championship games are broadcast on a whole different operation that's run by the state itself. So we would be with you through South State. First pitch is high, ball 1 to Kapler, who struck out looking his first at bat. The 1-0. Same location, same result, 2-0. Now the wind has died down again. That skips up there. 3-0 to Kapler, the leadoff hitter. You'd have to wonder how much of a leash does Andy Davis have on Norred going forward, as there's a strike for 3-1. Because Odom has loosened and certainly is available. The 3-1 pitch. Inside, nearly hit him. Ball 4, and Kapler gets a leadoff walk. Norred has struck out 5, but he has walked 2 and beaned 2. So here's Coney. He grounded to Marshall Phillips in his other at bat. Coney hitting .428 with no homers and 9 runs batted in. First pitch to him is a strike at the knees. Norred nothing fancy there. So 0-1. Righty versus righty, the matchup here. Jamarius Lewis on deck. Jags batting in the top of the 4th with their leadoff man aboard. Coney hitting 7th. You'd think that this would be a situation for a bunt, but Coney, who when he's not playing third is a designated hitter, he's a power guy. Swing and a miss. 0-2 now as Norred blew it past him at 84. Rayner playing him straight away. 0-2 pitch. Swung on. Oh, this could be 2. Flips to second for 1 to first. Double play. How about that? 4-6-3.
Demarius Lewis.
And exactly that is why you contemplate bunting there. But Coney grounds into the 4-6-3. So that leadoff walk is erased. Base is empty, 2 outs, and here's Lewis. In the top of the 4th. First pitch, 86 miles an hour for Norwood there, but missed high and away. Swung on and fouled into the netting. Almost got PA announcer Mike Peterson over here to the right. The Moraleses have checked in. They are watching from Baton Rouge Day. So glad to have Tessa and the family watching on the web today. The 1-1. Nice off speed. In there at 74 miles an hour. So 1-2 to Lewis. Jamarius Lewis, the quarterback of the Jaguar football team. That one was high. 2-2. Norred peers in to get the sign from Altman. And the pitch. Outside again. It fills now at 3-2. But there are 2 outs. So on the Jaguars side, Dustin Holmes appears to be warm, should he be needed, and Levi Odom has loosened for Sumrall, should he be called upon. Top of the 4th inning. Sumrall leading 3-2. Payoff pitch. Fastball at the knees. And Lewis down again on strikes.
No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. After 3
No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's Sumrall 3, North Pike 2. You're watching the South State High School Baseball Playoffs on the NFHS Network, powered by Dandy Dans. Ryan Cole Broom leads it off for the Bobcats in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Or check that, 4th inning.
For the Bobcats, designated hitter, Ryan Cole Broom.
He walked his first at bat and then wound up at second base. He was left hanging out there. Bobcats trying to extend a 3-2 lead. The pitcher, Martin, wanted to make sure that Jamarius Lewis was ready to go in center field. Here's a high pop up down the left field line. Being tracked and caught in left by J.K. Kapler, who was also struggling with the sun out there. Kapler has played a good defensive left field today for the Jaguars. And here's Altman now, who walked his last time up but was credited with an RBI because the bases were loaded. And the Bobcats will turn the order over and go back to the top. First pitch is a strike to Altman. Altman 192 on the batting average with no homers and now 9 runs batted in. Second pitch is wide at 60 miles an hour. Hayden Barrett on deck. Base is empty, 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Here's strike 2. Just nibbled the corner at 70 miles an hour. The Jaguars and the Bobcats, it's been a great series. The first one lopsided, but the Jaguars came back and flexed their muscles last night in Summit. That's outside, 2-2. The 2-2 pitch to Altman. Swing and a miss, got him in the off speed at 59 miles an hour. Boy, he really pulled the string. So 2 away, and here's Tweeter. Hayden Barrett. Splinter's out in the left field lounge today. First pitch is outside. Splinter, give us a wave from out there if you can hear us. Next pitch to Barrett. That one is foul. That may get a car. And so 1-1 the count to Barrett with the bases empty and 2 away here in the rather quiet 4th inning for both teams. After the 3rd inning, both teams were busy. Checked his swing and was able to hold it up. From the full windup comes Jake Martin's 2-1 delivery. Outside, 3-1. Barrett is not a guy that you want to walk because he turns just about everything on the bases into runs. Set the individual season stolen base record this year, beating Dennis Jackson's old mark. Leads the team in runs scored, which is not necessarily unusual for the leadoff man. 3-1, ground ball, sharp contact to short. And Perry over to first base to end the inning. So the Bobcats go in order, up and down, 1, 2, 3. We've completed 4 here in Sumrall. It's the Bobcats 3, the Jaguars 2. Back in a moment, you're watching the 4A South State Baseball Playoffs on the NFHS Network, powered by Dandy Dan's. Norrad out for the 5th inning of work, and he'll face hitters 9, 1, and 2. Thanks to our sponsors, Recommended Auto Collision Repair in the Bend at Old Highway 11 and Highway 589 in Purvis. The Alpha Insurance Agency of Casey Long, Rainforest Car Wash, where Tuesday is Ladies' Day. ComSouth Business Communications have been in the business of communicating with businesses for over 50 years. Real South Hunting, the State Farm Insurance Agency of Stacy Clark in Prentice, Java Mo's Coffee Shops, and our title sponsor, Dandy Dan's. If you get a chance, make sure that you patronize our sponsors if you're in needs of their goods and services, and let them know that you appreciate them supporting the Bobcats on the web. First pitch is low, ball 1 to C.J. MacArthur. He was hit by a pitch leading off the 3rd inning. Swing and a miss here in the top of the 5th. When he was hit by a pitch, he wound up coming around to score. 1 of the 2 Jaguar runs. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on, grounded to 3rd. Odom gobbles it up, throws to first base, and there's one away.
Shortstop, Alex Perry.
And here comes Perry now. He has walked and doubled, so officially 1 for 1. That double, he hit a fly ball out to Rayner. Rayner went over his shoulder, knowing that it was over his head, but then just could not pick it up in this terrific sun. A strike on the corner. And Perry is indicating that that ball was off the plate. The 0-1. Swing and a foul tip. That one was not off the plate. 0-2. Base is empty. One out here in the top of the fifth. The 0-2. Outside. Tried to get him to lean out there a little bit. But the 85-mile-an-hour fastball was off the edge. The 1-2. Outside again. 2-2, so Alex Perry has worked himself back into this count. He's the leadoff hitter for North Pike. 27-6 overall with the Jaguars coming into today. The 2-2 pitch. Low, 3-2. So after starting out 0-2, Perry and Norred are going to go to the full count here. Swung on, there's a shot into right center field, a base hit. Clean base hit all the way. Sharply hit. And here's Peyton Badon, second baseman, who has been hit by a pitch, reached on a fielder's choice. He also has a run scored. Badon last night was 1 for 3 with a double, hitting .405 with no homers and 24 runs batted in. Top of the fifth inning. Both teams running out of time here. Now, when you have Sibley on the mound, you've got a left-hander that's looking at those runners right in the eye at first base. But the righties, of course, their back is to them. Throw again over to first. Sibley playing first base today. When Norred's not pitching, many times Andrew Knight will play first. But it is Sibley today. There's a strike at the knees on the fastball. 82 miles an hour on that one. Jake Martin, the pitcher, is on deck. Both starting pitchers still in there, and again, why not? Both of them have had a momentary lapse of reason, so as Pink Floyd would say, but they have weathered a couple of small storms each. The 0-1 swung on. Here's a chopper to third. Odom's got it. Throw to second for one. Over to first. Couldn't get him at first. But it's an out at second. 2 away. So 2 away with Badon at first. And here's Jake Martin now. Martin struck out swinging in the first. He struck out looking in the third. Number 12 versus number 12. And the two pitchers against each other. First pitch to Martin is an off-speed 72-mile-an-hour pitch in there for a strike. Badon is a great runner, so don't be surprised if they try to get him to second. Swung on. Here's a little flare out toward right field. Coming in is Dito. He's there to pocket it, and that's that. No runs on one hit. No errors, one man left on base. We go to the bottom of the fifth inning. It's the Bobcats 3, the Jaguars 2. Back in a moment. You're watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. Keegan Roberts is the new pitcher for the Jaguars. Coming into this series, Roberts had a record of 4 wins and no losses, an ERA of 3.59. He had pitched 25 in the third innings, had allowed 28 hits, had walked 14 and struck out 24. So he doesn't have that 2 or 3 to 1 ratio that you'd like to see from pitchers as far as walks and strikeouts go. But he is facing a lefty from the get-go in the likes of Hayes Rayner. But then he'll face righties in Rayner, in Phillips, Dito, and Ty Little, who will turn around and bat right-handed against him. Bottom of the 5th inning. Only 2 more at-bats for the Jaguars. Let's see if Sumrall can add to its 3-2 lead. And here's Rayner, who has lined it to left field and struck out looking. And we'll see what Keegan Roberts, the lefty, has for him. First pitch is high, ball 1. The North Pike Jaguars, the South Pike Eagles. North Pike right across the street from Southwest Community College, which is the Bears. There's a strike. 1-1 to Rayner, the number 2 man in the order. The difference in this ball game was Marshall Phillips' solo home run, which was his last at bat. Strike 2 on the inside corner. Rayner hitting .330. And now the starting pitcher, Martin, has gone to third base. Breaking ball got away from him. And again, the reason that Artrell Coney was listed as a third baseman and a DH is if you do it that way, he can be taken out of third base, which he is now with Martin there, but still play because he was listed also as the designated hitter, so he won't lose his at-bat. 2-2 pitch, skips up there. Count fills at 3-2 to the leadoff hitter for Sumrall here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So 1 away, base is empty, and here's Marshall Phillips. If that home run got any wind help last time, he won't get any this time, because Old Glory sound asleep there in center field. But Phillips has had a great night last night and a good day today here at the plate, and takes a strike there. As Keegan Roberts has been throwing pills in here in the bottom of the 5th inning. That one missed. 1-1. Keegan Roberts has kind of a two-toned glove, kind of a lime green and gray. Misses off the plate. 2-1. Cade Dito on deck as the Rawlers batting here in the bottom of the 5th inning. There's a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Phillips. Andy Davis with his arms folded over there at third. One of these teams will live to see another day. The other one will clean out the lockers on Monday. Here's the 2-2. Check swing. But he held up. So count is full at 3-2. Roberts from the full windup. Gets the sign, kicks and delivers. Swung on, there's a shot to third. Fielded cleanly, throw to first base, and Phillips is out. But you got to give him credit. He hustled down that line. Good play by Jake Martin. That ball was hit sharply. So Martin had time to go down to his knees, make sure that he fielded it cleanly, and come up throwing. Here's Dito, who has walked and singled. He's also scored 2 runs. So he has been instrumental today. Breaking ball, 60 miles an hour. In there by Dito, hitting .378 with a homer and 16 runs batted in. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on. There's a shot in towards center. Nice play by Perry. Comes up throwing, but they won't get Dito. That's a hit. And Perry may have a burn or something as he kind of slid to his left to stop that ball. Dito is credited with the single. We've come a long way now when players can say, yeah, I played hard. I've got 3 carpet burns. Of course, the playing surface here at Sumrall is synthetic in the infield and natural grass in the outfield. So here's Little turning around, hitting right-handed now. He's put down a sacrifice bunt. He also grounded out to second, but chalked up a run batted in on that play. 2 outs. Runner at first. Sumrall batting in the bottom of the 5th. Swung on, and that ball is foul out of play to the right side. Just got over the fence into the football field there. Little hitting .319. Keegan Roberts gets the sign. Roberts on in relief of Martin. The pitch. High. 1-2 now. To Little. 4-man umpiring crew. Every base covered. Roberts, there they go, trying to steal second. But Dito made it. He went on first movement, which is what you do on left-handers, and then you don't hesitate. So the count is 1-1 to Little with 2 outs, but now you've got Dito out there in scoring position. After the stolen base, there's again that Sumrall speed. Now you can't steal first, but they've done a great job at advancing themselves once they get on first. Here's a little looper right at the second baseman. Little stung it, but right there to snag it was Peyton Badon. So no runs on a hit. We have completed 5, only 2 more at bats for the Jaguars. Can the Bobcats defend that 1-run lead? We'll find out in a moment. You're watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. Checking the Javamos scoreboard in the top of the 6th over in Purvis. The Tornadoes lead the Tomcats of Stone 2-1. Again, that's in the top of the 6th over in Purvis. And in college baseball today, Southern Miss won the first game of a doubleheader against Florida Atlantic 6-1, but the Owls leading 4-3 in the second inning of that second game. Again, both of those are 7-inning contests. All of our scores brought to you by our friends at Javamos. Don't even have to get out of your car for your favorite cup of joe. Just drive to the window at Javamos with their new location on Highway 11 right across from the Pearl River Community College campus in the College Square Shopping Center. Here's Jace Brown. He has struck out and doubled. He's got an RBI to his credit as well as Norred comes back out to work here in the top of the 6th. Swung on. There's a shot to third. Odom's got it. Comes up. High throw, but not anything that Civilly can't handle. And there is out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out. So the Jaguars down to 5 outs. Talk about, just winning each inning. Winning the inning, and then you add them up at the end of the day. First pitch hits Rush.
Left fielder, J.K. Kapler.
Another hit batsman, the 3rd of the day. He hit Badon in the 1st inning. MacArthur in the 3rd inning. And now Cade Rush in the top of the 6th inning. 3-2. Bobcats lead it. First pitch is high and inside to Kapler, who struck out looking and walked. So officially 0 for 1 today. Odom had loosened earlier, but has kind of been the way it's been for Sumrall pitchers this year. Kind of rough, rocky starts, and then they settle in and wind up performing really well. There's a strike. Kapler hitting 6th in the order for Coach George Lott. Archel Coney, who started at 3rd base, now out of the lineup defensively, but allowed to stay because he was both listed as the 3rd baseman and the DH. He'll hit next, unless Kapler hits into a double play. The Bobcats have recorded one today, a 4-6-3 double play in the 4th that Coney actually hit into. The 1-1 swung on. This could be trouble, but Dito moving to his right. Now trying to throw to first to double him up. And the runner back. Great play by Dito. 2 outs. Didn't mean to scare you there, but it looked like off of the bat that ball was going to get down a lot quicker than it did. So here's Coney now, who grounded to short his first time up and then to the second baseman. Swing and a miss. Norred has only allowed 3 hits on the day, 2 of them to Alex Perry. 2 of them doubles, 1 of them a single. Low. The only other guy to record a hit. Swing and a miss. Was Jace Brown that I was talking about. Brown hit the double. The catcher hit the double back in the 3rd when the Jaguars got both of their runs. Sumrall got 1 in the 3rd, then, or check that, 1 in the 2nd, and then 2 in the 3rd. Both teams have been quiet since then. The 1-2 off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Cade Rush at first base. The Jaguars down to 4 outs. Norred peers in to get the sign from Coney, who hits 7th in the order. Here's the pitch. Got a piece of it to stay alive. Got the signal from Altman, rather. Pitching to Coney. If Purvis hangs on to beat Stone, they'll go back to Stone on Monday night. Stone just took the lead against Purvis. So Stone, if they sweep that series, will host Thursday night. Swung on. Here's a little lazy fly ball to center. Rayner is there to make the catch.
Pike in the top of the sixth.
No runs, no hits, no errors. One man left on base.
Sumrall,
It's the Bobcats 3, the Jaguars 2. Back for more in a moment. You're watching the high school baseball playoffs on the NFHS network powered by Dandy Dan's. Keegan Roberts to face Norred, Odom, and Broom as it stands now. 6, 7, and 8 in the Sumrall order. The Jaguars having difficulty figuring out Norred. He hit a routine fly ball to center field, which should have been caught by Jamarius Lewis, but was dropped. So that was a two-base error. And then he hit a routine ground ball to Alex Perry at shortstop, who fielded it beautifully, but then sailed the pitch over the first baseman's head. So he's reached twice, but both via the air. And he takes strike one here from Keegan Roberts. The 0-1 swung on and fouled out of play. That hits the back of the scoreboard from the football field over here to our right. Looking ahead to the last chance, 7th for the Jaguars. They'll have hitters 8, 9, and 1 up. 0-2 pitch, swung on, ground ball to second base. Badon's got it and throws over to first for out number 1.
Third baseman, Levi Odom. Correction, pitch hitting, number 34, Walker Long.
Now Walker Long is going to hit for Levi Odom here in a pinch hitting role in the bottom of the 6th. Ryan Cole Broom still out in the on-deck circle. So Walker Long, who was in that DH role for about the last 4 games, swings and pops this one out of play. That gets over actually into the peanut gallery over there, just kind of behind the Sumrall dugout down toward the executive lounge. We never saw Splinter wave at us from the left field lounge down there. There's a strike on the corner to Walker Long. So 0-2. Bases empty, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Took something off of it. 65 miles an hour, and that's ball 1. Walker Long coming in off the bench as a right-handed hitter facing the left-hander Keegan Roberts. Swung on, here's a slow roller to short. Perry's waiting on it, has it, throws to first, and there's 2 away.
Designated hitter, Ryan Cole Broom.
2 up, 2 down, and here's Ryan Cole Broom. Keegan Roberts has done a great job in relief here. Dito was able to put a single on the board against him, but other than that, he has handcuffed the Bobcats. First pitch is a strike to Ryan Cole Broom. Bottom of the 6th inning, 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors for Sumrall, the line score. 2 runs, 3 hits, but 2 big errors for the Jaguars. There's a little looper into right center field, and it gets by the outfielders. Broom looking to see if he's going to stay at second or go to third, but he comes up with a 2-out double to right field.
Catcher, Ethan Altman.
And really, C.J. MacArthur, the right fielder on that play, should really have run more at an angle. But he kind of ran straight to the ball, and then when it scooted past him, he had to turn his back to home plate. And, of course, you can't see the play in that position. And you know that Keegan Roberts, you know, as McNair now comes in to run for Broome.
Keeps running at second base, number 2, Malik McNair.
You know they want to get Altman because even though they have held Barrett in check today, they know what Barrett means to this Sumrall offense. Altman has walked with an RBI. He's also struck out, so he's officially 0 for 1. First pitch is outside, ball 1. Snap throw to second base, and McNair is back. Sumrall batting in the bottom of the 6th inning. The 1-0 pitch. Outside, 2-0 now. Again, I would think if you're the Jaguars, you do not want to face Barrett with potentially runners on first and second. But Altman has Roberts right where he wants him. Pickoff play at second, look out! And they almost got him. Almost got McNair. He waited for a split second to see if that throw was going to be made. And Andy Davis has got the left hand up to McNair saying, look, let's not get sloppy. You're in scoring position and you're a tremendous runner and there's 2 outs, so you don't even have to worry about the line out. Missed 3-0. But man, if McNair could get in from second base, would that be big? The 3-0. Outside, ball 4. So Altman is on again. Runners on first and second with 2 outs. And Brandon Harrison will run for Altman. So he can get his gear on. And here's Big Pug. Here's Hayden Barrett. He has grounded to third, reached on a fielder's choice, and grounded to short. But this is his first look at Keegan Roberts. First pitch to him. Swung on. There's a shot into left field. A base hit. Andy Davis waving the arm. Here comes the throw to the plate. He is out at the plate. McNair was being waved around. What a throw from left field by J.K. Capper.
No runs, 2 hits, no errors.
And I'll tell you what, I like the aggressive play by Andy Davis waving that arm. You have McNair who could fly. It would take an absolutely perfect throw to get McNair out, but that's exactly what was forthcoming. So Barrett is credited with the single. No runs, 2 hits. 1 man left for Sumrall. We go to the 7th inning, and Levi Odom
new pitcher for the Bobcats
comes on to try to put it away. So Norred is done. He will go to first base. Sibley will come out. Phillips will go to third. Landon Holloman, the defensive specialist, will come in at shortstop. Little stays at second, and again, Norred at first. And the outfield as it started. Barrett in left, Rayner in center, and Kate Dito in right. So it'll be up to Levi Odom to try to shut the door on the Jaguars in Game 3 and move the Bobcats on to South State, where they will face the Stone County Tomcats. Stone has beaten Purvis. Top of the 6th, Stone is ahead 5-2. So again, that game is not over yet, but Stone has extended its lead to 7-2 now. Stone over
In at shortstop,
Purvis,
number
7-2.
Landon moving over to third base, Marshall Phillips.
So at this point, it certainly would look like Stone. The Tomcats would host Game 1 of South State.
And on the top of the seventh for North Pike, center fielder Jamarius Lewis.
Of course, if they hold on to beat Purvis, because the Tornadoes have graduation on Thursday. But as far as we know, no complications with Stone on Thursday. So if the Bobcats hang on here, they would. And Stone wins. They play at Stone on Thursday night. First pitch swung on, base hit into center field. So the Jaguars say they're not done yet. As Jamarius Lewis slaps it to center field. And he is a great runner. We mentioned a quarterback on the football team. So here's C.J. MacArthur now. Now do you play the bunt with the number 9 man in the order? The Bobcats think it's going to happen. MacArthur wearing jersey number 9, playing position in the scorebook number 9, and batting 9th in the order. And now Altman goes out to talk things over with Odom, wanting to make sure that they literally and figuratively have all their bases covered here in case of a bunt situation. Remember those times, little leaguers in baseball practice, that you hated working on bunting? Well, here's the time that all that practice may pay off. Odom versus MacArthur. Again, anticipating the bunt. Swung on, and a little looper over Marshall Phillips' head. Rounding second on his way to third. Barrett bobbles the ball a little bit. Throw into third is off the mark. Runners at second and third, and nobody out. And here comes Andy Davis. C.J. MacArthur, the number 9 man in the order, saw Phillips breaking for the plate, thinking that there was going to be a bunt, and he just put a little blooper over his head. It would have been an easy play for Phillips if he were in his regular third base position. And I'm not faulting Marshall. You certainly have to play bunt there. But MacArthur stuck the bat out there. And then credit Lewis, who didn't hesitate a bit, rounding second on his way to third. And there might have been a close play there, but Barrett bobbled it ever so slightly. So that turns into a double. Runners on second and third, and now they're going to put Alex Perry on. The intentional walk.
Second baseman Peyton Badon.
And here's Peyton Badon, the hero of last night's game for the Jaguars with that pitching performance. He's been hit by a pitch. He's reached on a fielder's choice twice. Bobcats look like they may concede the tying run, although the corner men are in at the edge of the turf. Middle men are back. First pitch to Badon is low, ball 1. And remember, there's no place to put him. Odom working the near side of the rubber. The 1-0 pitch. Low again. 2-0 to Badon. And you could probably bet the mortgage he's on the take here until he gets a strike. Lewis at third. MacArthur at second. Perry at first. Nobody out. Swing and a miss. They cut him loose on the 2-0. Jake Martin, the starting pitcher and the number 3 man in the batting order, is on deck. Sumrall trying to hang on to this 1-run lead. The 2-1 pitch. Too high. 3-1. It didn't miss by much, but it doesn't need to. Game of baseball is a game of inches. Odom back to work. The 3-1 pitch. Swung on, grounder toward left field. That's a base hit. They'll score one to tie it. Odom cuts it off. We're tied at 3, and there's nobody out, and the bases are still loaded.
Third baseman Jake Martin.
So MacArthur moves to third. Perry to second. Badon with an RBI single. Nobody out. And here's Martin. Odom rocks, kicks, and delivers. Strike right down the middle. Well, now we know that the Bobcats will bat in the 7th, and it will be Rayner, Phillips, and Dito. 2, 3, and 4 in the order. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled into the screen. So Odom ahead of Martin here in the count. Martin has struck out twice and lined out softly to Dito in right field. Marshall Phillips with some words of encouragement. Odom peers into Altman to get the sign. Nobody holding any runners. Got to get a force somewhere. The 0-2 pitch swung on and just stuck the bat out there and fouled it into the net. Jake Martin looking to give the Jaguars a lead here in the top of the 7th inning. They trailed 3-2 coming into the inning. They've played one to tie it. Bases are loaded and no outs. Took something off it, and that one is fouled over into the football field. So they're guessing right each time with Odom. 3 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Jaguars. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Bobcats. The 0-2 pitch. Outside, 1-2. It wasn't close. The Sumrall fans wanted the call, but it wasn't close. And here Altman wants timeout now to talk to Odom. It's not what has already happened here for the Bobcats. It's what is still potentially to happen in the 7th. The base is loaded with no outs. Lewis started with a single, then a double to MacArthur put runners on second and third. They intentionally walked Alex Perry to set up the double play, but then Peyton Badon came through with a single to score the tying run. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on, fly ball to center field. Rayner is there, has it. And now here comes the throw to the plate. We may have a play, and Altman has him at the plate. And I got to tell you, C.J. MacArthur was 3 feet off the bag when he should have been on the bag waiting. He had to come back to the bag to make that tag. And that gave Rayner and Little all the time they needed. So Martin is out on the fly out to center. For the first out, the second out was MacArthur being tagged out at the plate. So runners at first and second now, 2 outs. First pitch is outside, ball 1 to Jace Brown. The catcher, he's got a 1-for-3 day with a double. Boy, C.J. MacArthur should have been at third base waiting to tag, and he wasn't. When Rayner made that catch, he was 3 feet off the bag and then had to go back to the bag and tag. And that was the difference. And the Bobcats made him pay. The 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. So a whole different complexion now. 3-3 ball game. Go ahead run is at second. With 2 outs. You don't have to worry about being doubled up. Swung on. Here's a high fly ball. Dito in right. Tracking it. He's got it. And that's the end of the inning.
The top of the 7th. 1 run, 3 hit, no errors, and 2 left. After 6.5, we're tied.
So 1 run on 3 hits. And really, under the circumstances, that is the best that Sumrall could have hoped for, was just allowing 1 run. So it'll be Keegan Roberts to face Rayner, Phillips, and Dito. 2, 3, and 4 in the order. Rayner's been quiet today, but Phillips has a home run to his credit, and Dito's been on every single time. What a series. What a game. And again, with 1 run in, bases loaded and no outs, you'd certainly think that the Jaguars would have been able to cash in more than that. But a poor base running play at third and a great relay throw from Ryan Little. They were able to ring up MacArthur at the plate. So the Bobcats have their destiny in their own hands here as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. So Keegan Roberts on the hill. Rayner hitting .330 with no homers and 15 runs batted in. Today he has lined to left and has struck out twice. And Keegan Roberts, I don't know if Roberts is going to be the long-term answer in this inning, but with Rayner being a left-handed hitter,
Leading off the bottom of the 7th for the Bobcats,
he would certainly be in to face Rayner. Nothing the Jaguars can do except defense it here. 1 run would win it for the Bobcats. The Jaguars are done with their 7 at-bats. Here we go. Bobcat fans, fasten your seatbelts. Rayner has not hit a home run all year. Phillips has 4 of them, and he's on deck. First pitch to Rayner is a strike. Position A, right down the middle. The thing you really don't want to have here happen is Rayner be at second with first base open, because as he fouls that one, because then first base would be open and you would think they would put Phillips on intentionally, because really he wouldn't mean anything. It would be Rayner would be the winning run. But 0-2 the count here to the Sumrall center fielder. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on, grounder to second. Badon's got it. Quick throw to first. And he's out. So Rayner out on the 4-3. And this is the guy that they've got to be careful with. Marshall Phillips already has a homer today. Has he got another one in him? And they're going to let the left-hander throw to Phillips. Roberts gets the sign, kicks and delivers. Swung on, popped it up. Looks like it's going to be in foul territory, but Don taking charge and makes the catch. So 2 up and 2 down. Cade Dito has been unstoppable today. He has singled twice. He's walked and scored 2 runs. Both fan bases very quiet all of a sudden. Dito does have a long ball this year. First pitch to him, swung on. This one's popped up. Pitcher's got it. He calls for it, and that's that. So the Bobcats go quietly. We are going extra innings. Back in a moment, you're watching the 4A State High School Baseball Playoffs on the NFHS Network, powered by Dandy Dan's. Cade Rush, J.K. Kapler, and R. Trelcone, the scheduled hitters for the Jaguars as we go to the 8th inning. On the Java Most scoreboard, Stone beating Purvis 7-2. That's in the 7th inning at Purvis. Tornadoes would have to come up with a big 7th inning. So Stone looks like they have that one well in hand and would play the winner of this series. And we don't know any more at this minute in this game than we did when it started 0-0. Cole Rush will lead it off. Rush is the number 5 man in the order. Rush hitting .315 with no homers and 14 runs batted in. Levi Odom back out for the 2nd inning of work. First pitch to him is a chopper wide of 3rd. So the starting pitchers now have been erased. As far as winners and losers, it's now in the hands of the relievers, Keegan Roberts and Levi Odom. The 0-1 pitch to Rush. Outside, 1-1. Norred back in the game at first base. We mentioned Phillips at 3rd, Holloman at short. Way outside. Little at 2nd. On the outfield left to right, Barrett, Rayner, and Dito. Top of the 8th inning. 2 balls and a strike to Cade Rush. Swung on, chopper to shortstop. Holloman's got it, sets his feet and makes the throw for 1 away.
Left fielder J.K. Kapler.
1 out. And here's Kapler, who has struck out looking. He's walked and lined out to Dito in right field. Base is empty, 1 out here in the top of the 8th. First pitch, and that one is fouled at the plate. Kind of tomahawked that ball and rolled foul. So Odom will examine the baseball to see if that's the one he wants. Kapler has played a great game defensively in left field for the Jaguars. He's made a couple of stellar plays, including robbing Rayner of a double early in the contest. The 0-1. Strike 2. 71 miles an hour. Odom comes off the speed there with that one. In Sumrall's half of the 8th inning, it'll be Little, Norred, and Odom. Odom rocks and delivers the 0-2. Outside. 1-2, that was 84 miles an hour. So the Jaguars came up with a run in the 7th to tie it. Swung on, fouled into the screen, almost caromed right back into the face of Kapler. But it made it sound like you're at the carnival, that thing that you hit with the sledgehammer and goes up and rings the bell at the top. That's kind of what it sounded like. 1-2, the count to Kapler. Base is empty, 1 out. Again, Odom rocks and delivers. Breaking ball, strike 3, and Kapler knew it.
Designated hitter, Artrell Coney.
2 away, and here's Coney. Coney has put the ball in play each time. He's grounded to short, grounded into a double play, and then lined out to Rayner in center field. And the first pitch to him is outside, ball 1. So Odom looks much more comfortable now this inning than he did last. Bases empty, 2 outs. 2-0 now to Coney. Odom says that Coney's leaning out over the plate and hoping to get hit. The 2-0 pitch. There's a strike. So instead of working the inner part of the plate, Odom came to the outer part of the plate and got him. Wind blowing out toward left now as it freshens a little. The 2-1 as he deals. Swung on. Drive to center field. Rayner, shielding from his face from the sun, is there to make the catch. Thought it had a chance. But up and down, 1, 2, 3 are the Jaguars in the 8th. Okay, so the Tornadoes are done for the year. Purvis has been beaten by the Stone Tomcats. They're on to the South State final. So if the Bobcats can pull this out, they'll go to Stone, I'm presuming on Thursday night, because graduation for Sumrall is Friday. So you're looking at probably a Thursday, Saturday, Monday series for South State, and you wouldn't be in any big hurry to get to Jackson because you have a full week off before the state championship games are played that first week in June. Again, it's Keegan Roberts. And he'll face Ty Little, Hayden Norred, and Levi Odom. Southern Miss winning game 3 in that series, 8-4 in the top of the 4th. All of our scores brought to you by our friends at Java Mo. Southern Miss won the first game today, 6-1. So they're looking for that doubleheader sweep today in Boca.
Leading off the bottom of the 8th for the Bobcats, second baseman Ty Little.
Ty Little has put down a sac bunt. He's grounded to second and hit a liner to second. And Peyton Badon is quite a player there at second, so he's not the guy you want to hit it to. But now with Keegan Roberts, the left-hander, he will go up there to hit right-handed. Bottom of the 8th inning. First pitch to him. Swing and a miss. Again, the Jaguars obviously being the visiting team, they don't have another at bat. If the Bobcats can just scratch home a run. The 0-1. Swung on. Here's a drive to left field, but right at the left fielder, J.K. Kapler. I mean, he couldn't have been positioned any better. He didn't have to move at all. Little stung it. And now here's Norred. No homers, 31 runs batted in, but Norred certainly has home run power. First pitch to him. Swung on, there's a shot to short and into left field, a base hit. So Norred comes up with a hit. His first of the day. Now we'll see how Andy Davis wants to play this here. Norred, the first baseman now, and not the pitcher. Unless Andy Munn is coming in to run for Norred. So here's Odom with 1 out. Odom with 1 home run and 20 RBIs. He has popped to the shortstop and grounded to the shortstop twice. 1 out, bottom of the 8th inning. Sumrall trying to pull it out in extra innings and move on to South State against Stone. And the first pitch is a breaking ball strike at 61 miles an hour. So we know that Stone is already in. Waiting to see who they will play. Bobcats trying to end it here in the bottom of the 8th inning. When you looked at game 1 of this series, you thought it would be a cakewalk, but the Jaguars have played well. Swung on, popped up. This ball is in foul territory. Will it stay in play? It does not. It's in foul territory, but so close to the fence there that nobody really had a play. So 0-2 to Odom. Keegan Roberts on in relief of Jake Martin. And he has held the Bobcats accountable. Swung on, sweeping ground ball, foul down the third base side. Still 0-2 to Odom. He'll have to come back and reload. Oak Grove in 6A play is playing game 1 against Pearl tonight in the South State semis. The winner of that series will play the winner of d'Iberville. And who else? I'm trying to think. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on. Drive toward left center field. Being tracked in center. Coming in to make the catch is Jamarius Lewis, moving to his right. There you see Lewis's athleticism as he got on his horse there and tracked it down in left center field. 2 away, and here's Ryan Cole-Broom. If he could find the gap somewhere, Liam Munn probably statistically is in the top 3 as far as speed around the bases. And with 2 outs, he wouldn't have to worry again about being doubled off. First pitch, going, throw to second base. He's out this time. No runs on a hit. No errors, nobody left. We go to the 9th. Here in Sumrall, we're tied at 3. You're watching the 4A South State Baseball Playoffs on the NFHS Network, powered by Dandy Dan's. So here come the Jaguars to bat in the top of the 9th. 8, 9, and 1. Jamarius Lewis, C.J. MacArthur, and Alex Perry. And those were the guys that started the 7th that got them their run to tie it. And Lewis started it with a single against Odom. He'll get to see Odom again. First pitch to him. Too high, ball 1. Besides that single and a scored run, Lewis has struck out twice. Swung on, and that's cue balled off the end of the bat. Over to the Sumrall dugout. Lewis, the center fielder, who made that great play against Levi Odom, but then earlier in the day muffed a real easy fly ball. There's a breaking ball strike. Odom ahead now, 1-2. Lewis came into the series hitting .250 with no homers and 8 runs batted in. The 1-2 pitch from Odom, way outside. 2-2 now. Depending on how long this goes, you have to wonder if Sumrall might, well, Sibley was already in the game. So I don't know what the rules are about being reinserted once you were out. The 2-2, outside again, 3-2. Big pitch coming up here for Levi Odom, because the right fielder MacArthur is on deck, and he's the number 9 hitter. Here's the big 3-2 pitch. Swung on, slow chopper toward short. Holloman's got it, throws to first, and they call him out. That was close. So Lewis out on the 6-3. And here's C.J. MacArthur. MacArthur's been hit by a pitch. He's grounded to third and doubled. First pitch to him. Check swing, but he went around. For strike one. Sumrall's half of the ninth will feature the scheduled hitters of Ryan Cole Broom, Ethan Altman, and then Hayden Barrett. Wind again, just barely noticeable, but blowing toward right. There's a strike. 0-2 now to MacArthur. Sumrall just finds ways. And that's part of what this tradition is all about. They just find ways to win. The 0-2 pitch. Too high. 1-2. Dito in right has him played pretty deep, and Barrett in left especially so. The 1-2 pitch. And that one bounces up there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bases empty with 1 out. Jaguars batting in the top of the 9th inning. Couldn't decide it in 7. Couldn't decide it in 8. So here we are in the 9th. The 2-2 pitch to MacArthur. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Shortstop, Alex Perry.
2 away, and here comes Alex Perry now. He's been everything as advertised here in Game 3. He has walked twice. He's singled and doubled. So he's been on every time. One of the walks was an intentional walk. There's a strike to him. Waymore Williamson just texted in, I accept the invitation. Here's the 0-1. Strike 2, an off-speed pitch on the corner. So Odom has got Perry where he wants him here. 2 outs, bases empty. The 0-2 pitch. Outside. It was outside. Hallman started toward the dugout. So 1-2, the count to Perry. The pitch from Odom. Swung on. Ground ball to second base. Little's got it over to first. And that retires the side. They go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the ninth inning. 8, 9, and 1, the batting order for Sumrall. And we'll have it for you when we return in a moment. You're watching the high school baseball playoffs on the NFHS network, powered by Dandy Dan's. So here we go. Keegan Roberts is still on the hill for the Jaguars. Ryan Colebroom, who has walked, flown to left, and doubled, will come up first. And the Sumrall crowd is alive, trying to will a run home here in the ninth. Stone County, Stone has steamrolled into South State with a 2-game sweep over Purvis. Stone lot down there really getting the crowd fired up. Here's Broom now. 1 for 2 officially. First pitch to him is swing and a miss. Broom hitting .429 with no homers and 5 runs batted in, but he does have a double today in the gap in right center field. The 0-1 pitch is away, 1-1. Odom, after that kind of rocky 7th inning, has settled in to retire 6 in a row. The 1-1 pitch off the plate again, 2-1. To Broom. The Bobcats will take any kind of base runner with no outs, because then you can hit and run, you can bunt, you can do all kinds of things, because all you need is one. This has been one for the ages here today at Larry Knight Field. The 2-1 pitch. Strike 2 at the knees. How about the job that Keegan Roberts has done? He's given up a couple of hits. One of them was to Broom. The other one was to Barrett, but other than that, he's held the Bobcats at bay. That's low, 3-2. Big pitch coming up here. They're overflowing out in the left field lounge. No places to sit out there. The right field lounge over here with the tin roof, it's full. Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on, chopper to third. Over the head and into left field. Jake Martin tried to get it, tried to time the hop, but was playing a little bit shallow. So Broom credited with a single. And here's Altman now, your number 9 hitter, in an absolute bunt situation. Altman has walked, struck out, and then walked again. He's showing bunt, lets the world know, and tries to push it down the first base line, but it is foul. And boy, it's times like this, that bunting practice that lots of guys just don't like to take and don't like to be called upon to bunt. But a lot riding, potentially, on a good bunt here. Lefty versus righty. Roberts to the belt to throw over to first base to keep Broom close. If Sumrall is to win this and Broom to score the winning run, what a day it will be for that young man who has taken advantage of an opportunity, which seems to be the story of this entire Sumrall season, beginning with Andy Davis on down, who's taken advantage of an opportunity. There's the bunt. Going to second for the force, and they got him. Well executed by the Jaguars on that play. You had a left-handed pitcher who had to rotate to where he could field that ball and make a closed shoulder throw. And then the catcher tells him where to throw it. But here's Pug. Hayden Barrett. 1 for 4 with a single. And he's due. Brandon Harrison running for the catcher, Altman. First pitch is high, ball 1. Rayner on deck as the Bobcats bat in the bottom of the 9th inning. Runner on first and 1 out. Still tied at 3. 3 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Jaguars. 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Bobcats. There's a strike. Both fan bases really nervous at this point. That check swing and got a piece of it and fouled it over to the Sumrall dugout. How is this one going to end up tonight? Hope you didn't have plans going into tonight. No Netflix and chill or anything like that. 1-2 the count. To Barrett, the pitch. Just missed. 1-2. Or 2-2 now. With that pitch that was missed. They were playing him straight away. Moderate depth with no wind. That bounces up there. 3-2 now. And this is big because if he gets a walk, then the winning run is at second base with just 1 out. And Roberts knows it, so he's taking his time here to make sure that he has everything in line here. Now, do you think that they'll start Brandon Harrison? I would doubt it on 3-2. Let's see how they play it. Over to first again. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Barrett down on strikes. 2 away, and here's Rayner now. Rayner an 0 for 4 day. Which under normal circumstances you might think, oh, forgettable. But he can find one in the gap here. And the speedy Harrison can get around to score. It would be all she wrote. And on to South State. Lefty versus lefty again. Keegan Roberts, that was a big out of Hayden Barrett. First pitch to him is low, ball 1. Marshall Phillips is on deck. And Roberts would have to worry about that as well. Roberts being left-handed, Phillips being right-handed. Not trying to put the cart ahead of the horse here because Rayner's at bat, but the 1-0. There's a strike. But Phillips, as you know, could end it with 1 swing of the bat. 1-1 the count to Rayner as the Bobcats bat in the bottom of the 9th. Tied at 3. Breaking ball off the plate inside. 2-1 the count. But remember, if Rayner can find a walk or some way to get on base and get Harrison to second, it wouldn't take a home run. It would take just a base hit. to potentially win the game. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on, ground ball towards second. Sliding is Badon and flips it to shortstop to end the inning. Fielder's choice.
For the Bobcats at the bottom of the ninth.
No runs on a hit. We go to the 10th.
Tied at 3.
3 apiece. You're watching the 4A South State Baseball Playoffs on the NFHS Network, powered by Dandy Dan's. Kelly Sander along with Jeremy Thompson, our producer engineer. Jacob Robinson here as well. Hitters 2, 3, and 4 for the Jaguars. And for Sumrall, it'll be hitters 3, 4, and 5. So here's Badon. He's been on all 4 times. First pitch to him, a little lazy fly ball out towards center field. Rayner measuring it, has it for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Shortstop, third baseman Jake Martin.
So here's Jake Martin, who was the starting pitcher, and now playing third. That was an efficient out. 1 pitch, 1 out. First pitch to Martin is swung on and lashed over here to the right side for a foul. 0-1. Where Badon had been on every time, except for that fly ball that he just hit, Martin, it's been the opposite. He has not been on at all today. He's 0 for 4. He hitting in the 3-hole, he would like to be more productive than that. The 0-1. Inside. 1-1. So again, Levi Odom and Keegan Roberts. Looks like they're the guys. And you wouldn't normally think you'd have to worry about pitch counts with relievers, but if this thing goes on too much longer, there's a chop toward Phil. Look at Landon Holloman. Did you see him go behind the bag at second base and throw across his body to make the play? He robbed Martin of a base hit. I told you at the beginning of the year, I have not seen a kid play defense like Landon Holloman in a long, long time. And there is another example. People say, well, can he hit? Well, let me tell you something. I don't care if he can play defense like that. Here's Jace Brown now. That had single written all over it. And Holloman got a good jump on it and never quit. Brown 1 for 4 with a double today and an RBI. Strike 2. Beautiful pitch by Levi Odom. There's some thought that Holloman might be moved to second base next year. Well, that's then. This is now. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Oh, and that hit him. Did it not? I thought it hit him. But apparently not. Bases empty, 2 outs here in the top of the 10th inning. The Jaguars and the Bobcats battling it out. Jags got 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 7th. Sumrall 1 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd. This is trouble. That ball is down. That's going to get all the way to the wall. And Rayner fumbled it just momentarily, but not far enough that Brown would be able to get to third. So it's a 2-out double. And Cade Rush will come off, and Bailey Brown will come in and run for him.
Number 3, Bailey Brown.
Rush has an 0 for 3 day with a hit batsman. He's hitting 5th in the order. Levi Odom comes set. Here's the pitch. Too high, ball 1. Phillips, Dito, and Little are the scheduled hitters for Sumrall in the bottom of the 10th. Jaguars trying to grab the lead here in the bottom of the 10th, all this with 2 outs, or the top of the 10th rather, with 2 outs. Pickoff play, look out, threw it into, almost into center field, but again, Holloman was there to cut it off. You don't even know where Holloman comes from half the time. And he's there making the play. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Challenged him with heat and blew it past him. J.K. Kapler, the left fielder, is on deck if he's needed. A ball and a strike to Rush. Strike 2 at the knees. Good pitch. So Brown, with 2 outs, will be running on anything hit. Odom looking for the K. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Deuce is wild. And what a wild game this has been. 3-all. And we're in the 10th. Odom getting some rosin on that right hand. Grip the baseball. Again, the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out.
Pike in the top of the 10th. No runs, a hit, no errors, 1 left.
So we go to the bottom of the 10th.
We're tied at 3.
No runs on a hit. And Keegan Roberts again comes to the hill, and he'll face Phillips, Dito, and Little. Back in a moment, you're watching the 4A South State Baseball Playoffs, the NFHS Network, powered by Dandy Dan's. Bobcats on the Web, sponsored by Recommended Car Collision Repair, the Alpha Insurance Agency of Casey Long. Rainforest Car Wash, ComSouth Business Communications, Real South Hunting, the State Farm Insurance Agency of Stacy Clark in Prentice. Java Mo's Coffee Shops sponsors our scoreboard, and our title sponsor is Dandy Dan's. Marshall Phillips will lead it off for the Bobcats in the bottom of the 10th. Steve Cooley having a kind of a casual conversation with Marshall as he comes up to bat.
Bottom of the 10th for the Bobcats. Third baseman, Marshall Phillips.
Phillips has a 1 for 4 day today, but that one was a bomb. Home run. Keegan Roberts on for his 5th inning of work. First pitch to Phillips is a strike. At 67 miles an hour. Besides the home run, Phillips has popped to first, grounded to third, and popped to second. The 0-1 outside. The catcher, Jace Brown, tried to frame it up. Dito taking his warm-up cuts over here to our right. Sumrall trying to win it in the 10th. The 1-1 pitch. Inside, 2-1. I'm amazed anybody will umpire anymore these days, the way that fans get onto them. The 2-1. Swung on. Here's a drive to right center field. That ball is well hit. That ball is gone! Aloha on the steel guitar, and the Bobcats are on to South State. Two hits today for Marshall Phillips. Both are home runs. It'll be Sumrall versus Stone for the 4A South State Championship, we presume, beginning Thursday night. Follow Sumrall Athletics on social media for more information. 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Sumrall. 3 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for the Jaguars. The Bobcats increased their record to 28-3, and they are headed to South State against the Stone Tomcats. For producer engineer Jeremy Thompson, I'm Kelly Sander. Thanks for joining us. You've been watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball on the NFHS Network, powered by Dandy Dan's.